Welcome back to NASCAR America, everybody. So we just got some breaking news, and for that, we want to welcome in our own Nate Ryan to help us digest this. Nate, what are you hearing? What do you know?
Well, Carolyn, Chase Elliott has been hit with, his team has been hit with an L1 penalty for improper modification to affect aerodynamics, and that means a one-race suspension for crew chief Alan Gustafson and car chief Joshua Kirk. Alan Gustafson was also fined $25,000. And perhaps most importantly here, the finish was encumbered, which means that Chase Elliott loses the playoff point that he got from winning Stage 2 Sunday at Chicagoland. And he also receives, and the team receives, a 15-point deduction, and that will drop Chase Elliott from 6th to 8th in the standings. He's still fairly, well ahead of the cut line at this point with 2 races to go in the first round. But that will obviously affect his ability now to advance. It hampers him a little bit.
So, Nate, I don't want to put you in a tough position because I know that this is just breaking, but do you have any inclination right now as to why they may have incurred this penalty that's significant specifically? Well,
as I said, Carolyn, the language in the penalty announcement from NASCAR is that the team was discovered to be in violation of Section 20.20 in the NASCAR rulebook, and that is modifications to affect the aerodynamic properties of the race car. And now, I don't have any further confirmation from NASCAR on what that is. This is typical to how they announce penalties. They just give you what the infraction was per the rule book. I can say, though, that since last night, there's been a lot of social media chatter. There was a Reddit thread, actually, about some video of Chase Elliott's car, and a lot of people speculating about if there were modifications made to the spoiler. And I've also heard today that there's been photos out there that teams have sent to NASCAR also indicating this. So I'm not going to be able to confirm or draw a direct line from that to this penalty today. But I think it's fair to say that this penalty today comes out in the heels of a lot of discussion about this and speculation about this in the NASCAR industry since yesterday.
All right, Nate. So as you continue to work the story, thank you for the very latest that you have right now.
And another car into the wall. This time it's Chase Elliott. Might not have got into the wall. Yeah, he did. Absolutely did.
Another backup car, Rick. That car is
total
wrecked as well. So this is when you talk about the preparation. So remember, these are 2 teammates. So while they have enough team members here to service the 2 cars, the extra people you bring that would help you kind of in an overflow situation will now be taxed because they have 2 overflow situations. So as we see, this is also going down into turn 3 for the 24 of Chase Elliott. Over those bumps, it's kind of hard to see from this angle.
But you see right there, he's got all 4 tires in that upper groove trying to use that extra grip, and it's just not there to hold the cars. And I think it's pretty foreshadowing the comments that Jimmy Johnson made about when you don't have grip earlier today. Well, this clearly is what's going on. They're expecting the grip to be there. They're driving the car thinking that it is going to have that grip, and it's just not there. And then once you get out of that groove, you're going to hit the wall.
Affected by the hurricanes and the earthquakes and the fires today, would you continue to?
Row 7, Keselowski and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott in a backup car on a week where he lost his crew chief, lost points, going to have to rally.
Right behind him is the 24 of Chase Elliott. Remember, it's Kenny Francis on top of the pit box for him today after his crew chief was suspended. They have 5 races together before, so that part is good. The challenge for Kenny Francis, he's never called a stage race. This is his first time today. Marty?
Nice run by the 24 car. It's been a very, odd week for this car. They were penalized after Chicago for some aerodynamic enhancements with tape on the body. They lost their crew chief, their car chief, some points. This is a backup car after an accident on Friday, so they're doing a very nice job. While they're not up leading laps or contending for the win at all, a run anywhere near the top 10 has to be seen as a successful weekend trying to compete without their crew chief or car chief.
A little bit of distraction that the team had to deal with. Again, this is a wrap that's on the spoiler on the back as well as on the quarter panel.
And that's it. I mean, it's a culmination of pieces. There's tape on the spoiler, but there's also this piece that's in front of the right rear quarter panel. The total of those pieces definitely is an aerodynamic advantage. NASCAR had to step in. They can't allow a team to basically skirt around the rules. That was obvious. They were trying to find an advantage, Kelly. They know it's outside the rule book. They came down with penalties this week.
Those penalties included loss of crew chief and car chief for this race. On top of that, remember, Chase wrecked in practice Friday, so they had to immediately move to a backup car, and in spite of not having a chance to run that car until qualifying, still came away 14th. They felt like that was a small victory for him. But this is a good run for Chase. He calls this his toughest track of this first round of the playoffs. Said it hasn't been a good track for him in Cup, Xfinity, K&N, anything he's run here. Said, I don't know why it's so challenging. Maybe just because I didn't grow up on these short, flat tracks. But he said, believe me, if I knew what was so hard about this place, I'd go out and fix it. But right now, a really solid run for the 24.
Please welcome your host from NASCAR.com, Kim Coon.
Hello. Thank you, guys. I'm so excited to be a part of this special evening with Hendrick Motorsports. But first, I want to welcome the fans watching live on NASCAR.com and Facebook Live. You guys have a front row seat for what is going to be a very exciting night. And then look at this unbelievable crowd in Charlotte. How are you guys doing tonight? Good? How about the fans from the NASCAR Hall of Fame? How are y'all? You guys are awesome. So tonight, you guys are going to get a first look at the 2018 Hendrick Motorsports lineup. And of course, as you can see, awaiting the Chevrolet Camaro paint schemes, you're going to see racing in the 2018 Daytona 500. Pretty cool, right? This is the first time Hendrick has ever unveiled all 4 cars at the same time. So again, a very special night, a very unique night. And with that, I think I need to welcome some special guests here. I'm happy to introduce the driver of the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in 2018, Chase Elliott, joined by his dad, 1988 NASCAR Cup Series champion and Hall of Famer, Bill Elliott. Next up, the driver of the number 24 Exalta Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in 2018, William Byron, joined by 4-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, the legend, Jeff Gordon. They call him 7-time, the driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 in 20.
Well, this is the first time that we've ever done this, to unveil next year's cars this early, and to have our sponsors, the fans, everyone here tonight is so special, and we're really excited. I'm excited about this new Camaro, and we have the street cars over here, the 1LE in the corner, so I can't wait to get these cars on the track.
I can't either. I know you guys can't wait. Are you guys ready to unveil the cars? You think so? I know they gave you some glow sticks, so I'm going to have you guys use those glow sticks and help me count down. You think you can do that? If I give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Open-wheel sensation Jeff Gordon from Pittsburgh, Indiana.
Jeff Gordon, winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
William Byron wins at Indy.
19 years old. He is the youngest to win a NASCAR race at Indianapolis.
Two-time winner of the Great American Race. Car number 9, the pride of Georgia, Bill Elliott.
Chase from the same place as Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
Chase Elliott, dramatic finish.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, your 2018 Hendrick Motorsports lineup. Give it up for them. All right, we've introduced them. We've made them stand here. Now it's time to talk to them. So I'm going to ask that Alex come join me over here. Jimmy, William, Chase, come on over. Put you guys in the hot seat. Chase, I want to start with you. Yeah, the Napa 9 is back. How does it feel to see that and to have your dad here with you?
Yeah, it's awesome. That car and that number, it turned out great. Great to have the Napa colors back on. I didn't realize this until today, but I've been with them for 5 years starting next year, which is pretty wild. And to know, what they've done for me and that, really how far that partnership has brought me. So I appreciate their willingness to change it up. I think the car turned out great, and really all the cars look great. So I'm excited to see them on track.
William, Exalta brought the flames back. You heard the audience reaction. How cool is this opportunity for you to be with the number 24 team?
Yeah, it's really special. Jeff Gordon started out with Exalta, and Mr. H took a chance on him, and that's what we were talking about is we kind of had similar ages, similar career paths, and it's really neat to carry their colors to Daytona next year, and just super excited about that. So thankful for this opportunity for Mr. H and everyone at Hendrick, and the car looks great.
Bill, sharp-looking car over there. The Napa 9, what does that mean to you and your family?
Well, to look at the whole generation, it was a great opportunity for us for Chase to drive Jeff's car the last couple of years and that opportunity. But for me, it's fun to see him in the 9 car. We grew up, I grew up driving the 9 all the years, and then Chase, I've watched him on the short tracks drive the 9 car and through the Nationwide, then Xfinity, and then on to drive the 24 in the Cup side. And I think it'll be fun. I think the fans it'll be well received from the fan side, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think
the only problem is it don't have my name on it.
At least it's got the Elliott part, right?
That's true.
I think we're all excited. Now, Jeff, you're going to be in the broadcast booth for Williams' first race in the number 24. What are your expectations in his rookie season?
Well, I'm extremely excited about this youth movement that's happening within the whole sport, but especially here at Hendrick Motorsports, to be able to blend a 7-time champion, his experience with Jimmy Johnson, with this young, talented group of drivers. I think it's very exciting for Hendrick as well as for the sport in general. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the flames on this race car, on this 24 car. And I just think William is his rise to this level. I've never seen anything like it. Anybody get there faster than he has, and it's because he's earned it. He has incredible talent. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Maybe a little jealous that you're not driving this Chevy Camaro?
I'm jealous of this whole event because of all the years that I drove a car for Hendrick, we never unveiled like this. This is amazing, and I think it shows the commitment that Hendrick and Chevy and Camaro and all of our sponsors and drivers have the next year.
And it's so cool for me to stand here and see Bill Elliott stand beside a 9 car, and I was thinking about Jeff. I could see Jeff's eyes watering because I think he wanted to get in and drive it, but to see
standing awfully close.
Oh yeah, he's real close. But to see William, what he's been able to do. To me, to have these guys and to have Dale supporting Alex and Jeff supporting William, and of course Bill supporting Chase. I watched Jeff Gordon come in and blossom to be the champion he is. Also Jimmy, Jimmy came in, did the same thing. It was an honor to have Dale Earnhardt drive a car. My son said it was going to happen. I thought it never would, and hate to see him retire. But then I look at Chase. We've been together for, I don't know, about 6-7 years, right? And so real excited. And William, of course, he was trick-or-treating at my daughter's house not that long ago. So, and he told me when he was 14 years old he was going to end up doing this. And it was just, so I'm just really, really excited. So it's going to be a lot of fun next year.
Of course, we have to start with that number 9 car. Chase Elliott returning back to his roots, the 9 car. His dad took that to 38 wins in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Chase certainly looking to build on that legacy next year in that car. And then the 24 returns as well, but we have a passing of the torch, so to speak, with the flames back on the Exalta car. Jeff Gordon certainly made those famous when he was in that car. William Byron, he will be the pilot of the number 24 next year.
And then Gordon didn't seem to want to move away from the 24.
Well, Gordon might have been a little bit confused because that looks exactly like the car that he ran for so many years. You see those guys are up there taking pictures around those cars now. But
I don't know. Chase may be the happiest guy in the room tonight because of this opportunity to drive the number that means so much to him and his father. So I was pulling for that. When I heard the earliest rumblings of that coming about, I was pulling very, very hard for that because I know it was important to Chase, and he's at this point in his career. It's not too early or too late, I guess, to make that change, and it's still something that he could do. I think if he'd have went a few more years down the road with a 24, you build equity in that relationship, and it starts to mean something to the sponsors. It gets harder to do the further down the road you go. So it's good to make the change now. He can start to build some more heritage to that number and the history that it has.
And I think it's so cool to see a kid and how this impacts him and what his life's going to be like from this point forward. Reminds me a lot about when this guy took a chance on me, and Exalta took a chance on me, and I think a lot of the same things are happening to William, and it's really cool to see it from this side and watch, and I think a lot of great things are still ahead.
Obviously, Williams got some big shoes to fill. You paved the way in the number 24. Chase has done a great job with it. He's now moving over to the 9. Have you offered William any words of advice how to make that car his own?
I'm not really too concerned with that because I think what he does on the track speaks for itself. I mean, one of the things I'm so impressed with this year watching him in the Xfinity Series, and yeah, I was impressed in the Truck Series, but I thought, well, his trucks are the best trucks out there. Let's see what he does when he goes into a more competitive series like the Xfinity Series, and he's impressed me of how he drives like a veteran, but yet he's got that youthfulness and that desire to just push the limits of the car. He's going to bring that to the Cup Series. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's exciting. I think that's exciting for 24 fans out there. Yeah, he's young, but everything he's gotten behind the wheel of, he's excelled. He's succeeded, and I anticipate him doing the same thing. You know, when you're young, you're a sponge. You're a quick learner, and whether it be a simulator or behind the wheel of an actual race car, the kid just picks things up so fast.
Now, William, your jaw hit the floor when you saw those flames on the side of that car. Yeah. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure Daytona 500 next year. Yeah. There's one guy who's ever won in the 24 in the Cup Series, and that is Jeff Gordon. You're taking over his number, a very, very famous paint scheme. So, I mean, nerves going into Daytona, or is it just another day in the life of Slick Willie B?
It's definitely nerve-wracking. I think, when I saw that paint scheme, that's the first time I've really seen it. I've seen some rough drafts and stuff, but, my eyes lit up. It's just so cool to see it on a race car and really see all 4 of our cars on there. So, super excited about Daytona, and it's going to be a lot of pressure, but looking forward to it.
Awesome, Bill from Dawsonville.
See you guys.
Chase Elliott's pop's coming up. Bill Elliott's on deck.
Chase Elliott's dad. No big deal.
How are you?
Hall of Famer. Welcome.
It's not every day we're joined by, Hall of Famers. Rick Hendrick's obviously a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon's a future Hall of Famer. But what's it like?
He's definitely a Wall of Shamer.
There you go. Well, what's it like seeing Chase's name above a car that's got a 9 on the door?
It's got the wrong first name on it, I said. Now, it's a great opportunity. I mean, Chase grew up in the 9, and even though from my legacy, from where it came from, and it just seemed like it was a little weird seeing him in a 24 car last year, I will admit, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, because Jeff has done so much with the 24 car and what he brought to that number. And Chase was able to get in and sit on the pole at Daytona, and a lot of things that we accomplished the last year and a half or so. But yet, to go back to the 9 car, I mean, he feels strongly about the 9. He really enjoyed that number throughout his racing career, and I think it's great to see him back in that.
I know we would like to see Chase win his first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race the first time. I know this weekend would be great. I know we want to see it happen before the end of the season, but selfishly, does part of you want to see him get his first Cup Series win in the number 9?
No, I think of the 24 big.
Okay.
I mean, that would be fine. I mean, from my standpoint, regardless of what you're driving, pickup truck, Chevy Camaro, whatever, I think it all works out very well. But he's done a great job, and just circumstances sometimes don't always go your way in anything we do. And but we'll see how it goes, and hopefully he can get it into 24 and then make it up in the 9. But if not, best of luck to William here for next year. And big step, a lot of things going on, and a great opportunity here in Hendricks Motorsports and what they've done in the new Camaro, so we'll see.
So everyone always asks, what advice do you give Chase since he's a young guy? What advice would you give a rookie going into the Daytona 500 in one of the most famous numbers in the sport?
Hang on. I mean, it's just one of those races that Daytona is more about survival than anything. I mean, it's just one of those races that anything can happen, and usually does. And that's the hardest part about you can't school anybody about it. It's just something that it unfolds, and you could win a race, or you could end up in the garage. That's just kind of the way the race goes.
Are you ready to hold on, William?
Yeah, I'm ready to hold on. It's definitely, Daytona's a interesting one. It's kind of a fun one to start out on, I guess. It's going to be a lot of unknowns, but, definitely excited about it and ready to race with Chase and have all these guys as teammates. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're sitting next to a Hall of Famer, and you're going to be in what essentially is a Hall of Fame car. What does this mean to you, just this moment?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, Bill and I got to talk a couple weeks ago and got some great advice from him. So just trying to learn from him and all the resources we have at HMS. It's there's Hall of Famers everywhere you look, pretty much. So that's pretty special. It's not like any other race team to have that. So it's pretty cool.
You make it look easier maybe than anybody has in the past. Coming in the Truck Series, knocking out a record number of wins for a rookie in that series. You come into the Xfinity Series, you're the youngest guy to win a NASCAR race at Indy. So what's the secret, or is there a secret? Or you just, how do you come in first year to these series and just start knocking things down?
I don't know. I think it's kind of a testament to the hard work going on behind the scenes. Obviously there's a lot that goes on the weekend, and trying to get that communication right between you and your crew chief and the whole team there. So I feel like, when I was growing up, I was racing late models, and I was watching Chase and watching other guys run at JRM and have success. So I've just tried to kind of emulate that and keep progressing, and it's worked out so far. And I never would have imagined it's worked out to this level, but it's definitely special, and very thankful for Mr. Hendrick and everyone. So I would say the biggest the biggest thing is just trying to capitalize on the opportunity.
Chase, let's start with you. The 9 car and everything that number means to your family. How important is it to you to run that number, and what's it say about Napa for getting behind that number change?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for me. Jimmy and I were talking a few minutes ago. I've gotten kind of used to the 24 this past almost 2 years, so it's going to take some getting used to, but definitely home for me, I think, in that number. It's what I started racing with, the number I've really always ran except for these past 2 years if it was available. So pretty special to me, and I think something that everybody can get behind. I don't think you really have to think about that. To me, that kind of is a piece of the puzzle that really just goes well together, and the history is certainly there, and excited to carry it forward.
Chase, you've been so close to your first Cup Series win. We thought you had it there in Dover. I know, obviously, you want to win as soon as possible, but when you found out you were moving to the 9, was there just even more incentive to win, to write your name in the history books in the number 24 before you move on to the 9? Yeah,
there definitely is. I mean, that's pretty high on my priority list, and obviously you want to run well, and if you do that, it all kind of takes care of itself. But the way I see it, it's not so much that I'm excited to go ahead and move on to next year. It's that I have opportunity now, and have 6 more races to try to add 1 to the win column in that number before I will no longer ever have the chance to do it again. So I take a lot of pride in that, and we're working hard at it, so we'll see.
As we proudly stand behind our flag, we pray for our president this day. We pray for his family and their protection. We pray for his cabinet. We pray for his war chest that's keeping us around the world. We pray for our law enforcement. So proud we hail.
It's great to be here, but I don't want to just be here. I want to do something with the chance.
First pace car just started rolling in.
On the 21 car, Ryan Newman also did not go forward like he had hoped through the day so far. This 31 car falling back a little bit in the field. Ryan been struggling with a race car that is really loose in and tight in the center, but he said when they moved to the bottom of the racetrack, the car got a little bit better for Ryan Newman. All these cars pitting early here, hoping these Goodyear tires help them out, and it cycles through nicely in this green flag stop session. Martin Truex Jr. coming down pit road, as we mentioned, after they deciphered all that radio traffic. Car was just a little bit too tied off, but clearly very good on the long run for the 78. When I talked to Cole Byrne this morning, he said, I honestly don't know how we're going to be today because in practice we were not.
Marty, what a great day for the 24 of Chase Elliott, running right now in the 3rd position, the highest he's been in this race. I got to ask his crew chief, Alan Gustin, about what has made him good here. I asked, hey, you got that teammate, Jimmy Johnson. He's won here 11 times. He said, I think Chase studies Jimmy more than Jimmy studies himself. That's what's helping me good here at Dover, Dave.
Chase Elliott's average finish at this racetrack right around a 3rd place finish, and that's where he's running again.
Wow, see how free he is. He's got his hands full. So that's a 3rd place car. You saw how much it was moving around, had his hands full. What about driving the 20th place car? How much harder that is?
Coming back to the restart, it's Chase Elliott on the outside in the Geico restart zone. Martin Truex Jr. on the inside.
Don't look now.
Jimmy Johnson.
But the 11th time has made, the 11th time Dover winner, 7-time champion, has made his way to the 3rd position.
Well, how about Chase Elliott looking for his first win, took the lead. Well, guys, as Chase Elliott continues to lead right now and maybe staring his first Cup Series win in the face, there's some notable people missing down here from his pit box. That would be his mom, Cindy, and his Hall of Famer dad, Bill Elliott. They're actually on vacation in Nantucket and are not here at the race. Bill, though, will be flying in after the race to pick up Chase after the race. Hopefully he has a trophy to meet him at the airport with.
Well, that would be tough for mom and dad to miss the first career Monster Energy Cup Series win.
So what do you do if you're at the airport, you're ready to take off?
Your son's
leading.
your
son's right? But do you leave and miss him winning the race? Tough decision for Bill.
That would be a tough decision. Out in front, it is Chase Elliott being chased by Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson, but Chase Elliott's looking for that first career win in the Monster Energy Cup Series.
of the lead. Can he get in and off pit road better than the veteran than the 78 of Martin Truex Jr.? They're going to do Ford Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel in this 24 car. He just came across the radio and said it was a little snug in the center, but overall pretty good. The best it's been all day.
Yeah, can Chase Elliott finally get that first win? He's become so close. Late race restarts have cost him, but today he's had a very fast car in the second half of the race. Can he finally finish it off?
And Jeff, he actually just came across radio asking about the situation. Where was he in relation to second place? And his very calm spotter, Eddie DeHaan, came over the radio and said, it's the 18 car. He's 4.4 seconds back and in a lot of traffic. 40 laps to go. Focus ahead.
And what does that mean, Rick? That means be smooth, be smart, don't push the issue. And that's an advantage to Ryan Newman in the 31 car. With that big of a lead, if you're Chase Elliott, you're not going to take unnecessary risk because you have a 4-second lead. It's not worth it.
Ryan Newman trying to hang on to the lead lap, but the 24 of Chase Elliott chasing him down. Now, Chase Elliott has been in victory lane many, many times in the Monster Energy Cup Series, but it's always been with his Hall of Fame dad. Can he finally break through and get his own first win in the Monster Energy Cup Series? Still out front, though, with a 2-second lead now, so it's been cut in half, is Chase Elliott. Parker?
Yeah, and he doesn't have his parents here because they're on vacation in Nantucket, but he does have another interested observer on top of his pit box. That would be 4-time champion Jeff Gordon sitting up there, a man who made that 24 car famous and is obviously rooting him on right now, guys. Marty?
And Parker, nobody has won in the number 24 except for the man on the left side of the screen, Jeff Gordon. You know, I was talking to Chase Elliott's dad, Bill, a couple of weeks ago back at Michigan, and he told me, I kind of don't like coming to the racetrack anymore. I feel like when I'm at the racetrack, it puts too much pressure on Chase. I want the story to be about him. So I think even though I know he and Cindy, his wife and Chase's mom would love to be here today, I think it's sort of appropriate that they're not here this afternoon because Bill feels like right now when he's at the track, puts too much pressure on Chase. He's trying to let Chase be his own man, and right now he might get that first win, Rick.
Look what Chase Elliott has in front of him. Ryan Newman's not going to let him go, so they'll be too wide. That will leave the 24, no clean air, nowhere to go. This is the 18's chance. If he is going to run him down with 3 laps to go, he has to find some momentum here getting through traffic.
Chase Elliott continues to hug right along the apron, but look at the 18. He's closed the gap. The 18 almost on the back bumper of the 24.
The 18 has absolutely nothing to lose. He's already advanced into the next round of playoffs. He's just trying to get more points. He can take more gambles than Chase Elliott can.
2 laps to go, 2 miles remain. Chase Elliott fighting for his first win in the Monster Energy Cup Series. Here comes the 18 on the outside. Chase Elliott trying to hold on the bottom. The momentum on the high side. Kyle Busch is going to pass him for the lead. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Kyle Busch, earlier in the race, had led 29 laps. But as he goes by the 24, Kyle Busch looking to get back to victory lane. He makes his way out of turn 4. Kyle Busch is going to win at Dover.
This one's a hard-fought one, and I know Chase is hungry. I know he's been trying for a couple of years to try to get his first Cup Series win, but I've raced with him for a long, long time in late models and coming up through the ranks in the Xfinity Series and now here in the Cup Series, and I saw that carrot hanging out there, and I was going to get it, you know, and so just gave it everything I had, and fortunately it was enough. We had a little bit fresher tires than he did. That drug us right to him, but great show for the fans there. With all the angst of me trying to catch him, I wasn't sure if I'd get there, and then finally being able to pull the move off and winning this thing with just a couple to go.
All right, we'll see you in victory lane, and very nice of him to acknowledge Chase Elliott there. He knew that he wanted that first career win, but when you're racing for a championship, you got to go for those wins yourself, Rick.
Playoff grid now set for the round of 12. Those 12 drivers continue on to fight for the championship. The ones in gray on the left column, they are the ones that were eliminated from this round of 16. Parker.
Guys, Chase Elliott had a very fast 24 car. It was so close to being able to hold off the 18 of Kyle Busch. What did you need there to hold him off in that final lap?
Do something different. I don't know. I just so disappointed in myself. Golly, couldn't have had it any easier. Ran green from the stage break all the way to the end and gave it away. So I appreciate my team and their efforts today. Our pit stops were great, and they kept us in the ball game, and I didn't.
And you mentioned that you weren't able to hold him off. He was using the high lane. Did you ever think about going high or using a different lane? You were really stuck to the bottom there those last couple laps. Was that being mentioned to you? Is that something you could do to try and hold him off?
Yeah, maybe. You look back and obviously would have done something different, I guess, but I didn't.
And for Chase Elliott, obviously dejected down here, guys, of not getting that first win.
Yeah, take a look at Alan Gustafson, and there's the frustration. So close to getting that first win with Chase Elliott, but not going to happen today.
Heck of an effort, but you just come up 2 points short. What's the sense as you climb out of this 31 car?
We weren't good enough. I mean, it's simple as that. We got to thank Waste Masters Solutions for coming on board and sponsoring us for this race. They're a great partner, and we just didn't have what it took. And you can't run what we ran the last 3 races and expect to go out and win a championship. So we got some work to do to build on for next year, and we'll do that.
Thank you, Ryan.